As a CEO who grew my first company at 24 out of my garage in India, but then had to start from the very beginning again once I moved to Australia, I want to save you over 40 years of expensive mistakes and lessons I wish I knew in my 20s and 30s, so that you can be successful at whatever you set out to pursue and avoid looking back with regret. There is a decision that you're going to face, and maybe you're facing it right now, that will completely determine where you end up in 20 years. When I started my company Adactin here in Australia, I initially only focused on offering one service, which we still offer today, software testing. It was safe and comfortable business because businesses rely on technology working properly without the expensive headaches. But something didn't sit right with me. I could sense the world was changing and that people wanted more. So I made a call to expand into AI, cloud, and digital services. Even though I didn't know how complex it would be, it was a massive risk that cost a lot of time and money. But it paid off. Today, we are not just great at testing. We've been helping countless businesses from start to finish as a full stack technology partner. That decision laid the foundation for our growth trajectory. I'm so grateful that I can now celebrate the rewards. So I challenge you to make an educated bet on yourself and your business. But here's what most people miss. Taking risk isn't enough. You need the right people to even know you exist, which brings me to my next point. But real quick, if you are looking to grow your business using AI and technology, check out the link in description. When I first arrived in Australia, I met plenty of senior people in the tech scene. I knew them, but I wasn't top of the mind for big opportunities. And honestly, I didn't expect to be. That period taught me something important. Relationships alone don't open doors. But then something really major happened. I landed a project doing software testing engagement for a government client. We delivered well, no noise, no delays, just solid execution. A few months later, the same client approached us for integration, cloud migration, and digital transformation work. That moment taught me that when your delivery speaks for itself, opportunities naturally find you. The best part, once people saw the quality of your work, the calls started coming in. Today, we help people high up in the enterprise and government, so your reputation and ability to deliver is what truly leads to bigger opportunities. But here's where most people plateau. They take risks, they start to deliver well, but they still don't have what they actually want. This next problem is something I see constantly. Successful people who are completely trapped, making great money, impressive titles, but they don't have time to even take a small holiday. They are slaves to their calendar. There's a massive difference between high earners and wealthy people that nobody talks about. High earners trade time for money, more hours, more money. But there is a ceiling, and it often leads to burnout. Truly successful people, they build assets that work without them. Freedom comes from what you own, not what you earn. Like using technology to make your business operate more smoothly, faster, and easier. But achieving this takes something most people aren't willing to do, especially in your 20s and 30s. I've had hundreds of mentoring and networking conversations over the years, and there is a pattern that shows up over and over. One group is energized by their past decisions. The other group is stuck regretting they did things differently. Some stayed in outdated roles, comfortable, steady, safe. But guess what? Those same people missed the early waves of cloud and AI. On the other hand, the people who invested in learning early are now leading major technological initiatives. Their early mindset and willingness to stretch themselves created long-term advantages. The difference, timing, and here's a brutal truth. It's a lot easier to push yourself when you are young and energetic. It's a lot harder to push your comfort zone when you have settled into a business or built a family that requires stability. But even if you embrace discomfort, there is one very important factor that will determine how far you actually go. And it has to do with your immediate surroundings. We all know who you spend your time with will determine your success. But wait, what if I told you that there was a new study that will blow your mind? It turns out that you are just the average of your 5 closest peers. Apparently, the people who you choose to consume online are now determining what kind of person you will become. It makes sense, right? But back before social media, when I built my leadership team, something shifted. Their ambition, the way they thought about the problems, the conversations we had, it completely lifted my own standards. The relationships we went on to build with open doors to opportunities we never imagined. My team helped us win new business that was almost unthinkable for our size at that time. Today, we've helped 150 plus clients without ever losing a single one. Who and what you surround yourself with doesn't just influence your thinking. It literally determines your success. But none of this matters if you are accidentally sabotaging yourself with this last point. I used to say yes to too many projects, thinking that being busy meant we are progressing. In reality, it slowed us down and spread the team too thin. I've learned that real progress comes from choosing a few key priorities and confidently saying no to the rest. Once we made that shift, we moved faster, delivered better and made a much bigger impact. Your standards today determine your ceiling tomorrow, and most people are setting their ceiling without realizing it. Look, your 20s and 30s are your biggest opportunities to build something great. If you implement all 6 of these lessons, you won't be the person in their 40s asking what if. You'll be the one they are coming to for advice.